Hi, I'm Michelle, and today on bdTV we have Grant Norton, the Creative Director for TIGI, Australia and New Zealand. Grant, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Grant, how long have you been affiliated with TIGI, and in what capacity do you work with the brand?
Yeah, absolutely. With TIGI, I've been with the company about a year and a half. I look after all the creative projects in Australia and New Zealand. That's through education, product knowledge, and any sort of photographic work and shows. Originally, I guess I did my apprenticeship and stuff through Tony and Guy, which is where the products came from and grew from. So I've been affiliated with the family for about 20 years. Part of my responsibilities as well, which I really enjoy, is working with beauty editors. So obviously sharing any knowledge and hair tips or giving my point of view, depending on what stories they're working on at the time. So you know, there's that part of my role. Also at the same time, I get involved in editorial shoots and creating my own stuff as well. So I'm nominated for Educator of the Year this year as well for I think the third time. Which will be really excited. So heavily involved in education, photographic work, creative work, and you know, the product knowledge side of stuff as well.
Grant, the TIGI brand was founded by the Tony and Guy founders, yet it was taken over in 2009 by Unilever. Are the Mascolo brothers still involved?
Absolutely. One of them in particular, which is Anthony Mascolo. So I guess back in the day, he was the creative force behind all the imagery. So he's not just a hairdresser, he's a filmmaker and a photographer as well. The main change, I guess, since the takeover from Unilever is the research and development and the marketing team. So even as you can see, like Catwalk, you know, the way that they've taken hold of that, developed it, and I guess re-platformed it into a marketplace where people really now understand it. So Anthony's role is creating the images for it, creating the alliance with the designers like Christopher Kane, etc. It's just having, you know, I guess the finance and the experience of this, you know, massive global company that can help, you know, drive TIGI into, you know, into the future and also into, you know, all the new countries that we're looking into.
Grant, as a creative director, obviously you're involved in the visual side of things and creating amazing hairstyles on models. Do you get involved in the product development as well?
Yeah, the way it works with, especially now Unilever, creatively what we do is we get sent out, each art director for each country gets sent out lab samples. We then use them, we test them on models, and then we actually give the UK and global team feedback on, you know, whether it's to do with the sense or the performance, etc. So they make sure that they get lots of global advice, I guess, out there in the marketplace before just, you know, developing something for the UK market.
Since the brand's inception in 1986, it's developed into 4 really strong lines.
Yeah, the main thing with the brands, I guess, is the first one is bedhead, and for us, bedhead's all about youth, it's all about culture, and to us as a hairdresser, it's all about texture. So I guess it's the most youthful part of our brand. So it's more of our sort of pick and mix, so you can sort of change the shampoo and conditioner and the styling products. They might not look the same, but you know, they can sort of sit in the bathroom all together. The next part, I guess, is we've got S-Factor. So S-Factor for us is, I guess, our most scientific type blend of luxury ingredients, and that's more for your sort of classical. So it's not about creating funky hairstyles, it's more about nurturing the looks that you've got, high gloss, and making sure that you can maintain your colour and stuff at home. I guess colour for us is something that's really, really important. We're quite new at it, but we've got sort of a couple of key things, I guess, a scientific part to it, but also at the same time we have a small range of just over 70 colours. And again, it's for the creative hairdresser. Other brands out there have 150 plus. So for us, we're all about creativity, whether it's hair cutting, styling hair, or colour at the same time. Catwalk is probably I'm most passionate about. Catwalk used to sit with bedhead, and they sort of looked quite similar, but I guess internationally we looked at it as the blue range of bedhead. Since Unilever takeover, the research and development team and the marketing team really grabbed hold of it and really wanted to attach it to fashion and runway. So we started working with a designer called Christopher Kane, who is the sort of the darling over in the UK at the moment, fantastic designer. So we did all his lookbooks and all his fashion shows around the world, Anthony and the international team. We changed the platforms. We have 3 platforms, one for volume, one for curl and one for straight. My personal favourite is the the bedhead stick. Again, this was released in 1996, and this is what really changed the way that we did things, again, with the way that we packaged products up. So again, this is a wax stick where you can literally push it up from the bottom and again roll it through to the hair to get texture, or you can apply it with your hands, again for ponytails where you just want to get rid of those flyaways. So traditionally this sold as a men's wax, but today we use it for many different things. So again, that's one of our biggest sellers still today.
All of these products seem to focus on creating movement and texture.
Yep.
So would you say, being the Catwalk series, that's where fashion and hairstyling is headed?
It depends where you look, and it depends on what designer you're working with. Again, Sydney Fashion Week recently, so much of it was ponytails, and again, if you look at globally what's happening around the world, so again, for designers, that's a favourite of straight hair. You know, the only difference is where it sits, really. So again, you know, movement is definitely popular. Waves have been coming back in the last few years. But again, for us at Catwalk, what we've done is we've created something for either customer.
What is the most common styling mistake you see?
The main one I would probably say is either too much product or not the right product in the hair. So it's normally on the finishing of the hair is where, again, you know, I don't think there's quite enough education on application of product. And again, as a company, through education, that's one of the things that we try to reinforce into the people that stock our product.
And Grant, how is TIGI embracing social media to communicate with their consumers?
We're definitely on Facebook, so that's something that we're you know, a part of through our academy and you know, through our product. We've got a website as well, which is an international one. The other thing with Catwalk, which is since Unilever, they've invested a lot of time and money into creating things like we've got these new Catwalk apps for iPhones and iPads, which is something that's really exciting for us. We've got our own YouTube channel for Catwalk. Again, you know, this is about people being able to access information on how to do their hair themselves. So it's not just about buying the product, purchasing the product. It's again social media, so people can actually access and get tips and advice. We have this thing called the Q code, where you scan that with your iPhone and that will go straight through to show you tips and advice on how to use the product. So again, that's a new initiative, no one else is doing it, and that's going to be throughout all the new bedhead range as well.
This year saw TIGI host the biggest and rather impressive stand at Hair Expo. You had big shows, Anthony Mascolo and the international creative team came out. Why did TIGI invest so heavily in Hair Expo this year?
For us, I think it was really important. We hadn't done Hair Expo for about 5 years. For us to be able to bring Anthony International team over, you know, was phenomenal. When we put the question out there and he agreed, we just ran with it like crazy. So it wasn't just the show. We invested on the trade floor. We've had the biggest trade space ever this year, smack in the middle, which has been fantastic. Our stage actually came over from Bologna, so we tried to keep that global link in there, and we tried to keep each section, each brand separate within their own pillar as well, so really creating their own identity. Lots of fun, great for our team. I guess for us, with launching the new academy last year around Hair Expo time, it was really important to animate the link between London, Anthony, and the global education, because again, that's the foundation of what the company was built on. The show and the production was not just about crazy hairstyles, but it was also about the link to fashion, the global fashion week. So Marco and the team worked a lot of fantasy hair and created this Cirque Soleil. So I guess it was like the imagination, turning all these models into animals, and then becoming more than just a normal catwalk show as well. So it's the theatre that Anthony and the team globally, you know, I guess are renowned for. The best thing for me was having him work and do an up close and personal within the academy. So that was on the Tuesday night just past.
Grant, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us today. It's been a pleasure having you.
Pleasure, thank you.